Arcadia High School where it was to deal with language and each student has to introduce themselves. So that's why I asked her to introduce herself. She is a recipient of our scholarship. She is going to go to Nazareth. And Jadon, would you give your talk on the part that made you feel the most important part of the four-way test? There she goes.
Well, congratulations, you guys are one of the audiences of one of my first speeches. All right. Great. All right. A stereotype is a summarized belief about a specific category of people. It's the expectation that everyone who falls into that category shares the same characteristics, positive or negative. Stereotypes are based on our thoughts and experiences with certain groups that are then spread across the entire group. But we don't even need to directly interact with someone to form a stereotype of them. When we believe a stereotype, it can lead us to dismiss someone who needs our help. Stereotypes are not the truth. Truth is important because it puts problems into proper perspective, allowing us to identify root causes and create targeted, effective solutions to them. People with developmental disabilities may be presumed to have a poor quality of life, lacking individuality, having no interests of their own, and lacking the skills needed to make independent choices. But in my volunteer work with the Special Olympics and my part-time job in a group home for adults with developmental disabilities, I've seen differently. They can be independent in many ways, such as preparing a meal, doing laundry, cleaning their room, journaling about their day, and creating crafts. I've seen the unique personalities and individual interests each resident has. For example, one of them is always ready to give an unprompted handshake to greet others with enthusiasm. Another one is proud to participate on the Heritage Hurricanes color guard team with her teammates and enjoys horseback riding at the agency's equine therapy program. Another one has a never-ending stream of knock-knock jokes to bring laughter to the staff. Let me share one she told recently. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Lettuce.
Lettuce.
Let us in, it's cold out here. I promise, if she were here, she'd be much better at the delivery than I was. She enjoys spending time creating art and bringing joy to someone's day with a drawing for them. Here's a recent flower she drew me recently for spring. As a part of my senior capstone project, I recently conducted a public survey with over 200 respondents who shared their views on misconceptions surrounding women working in the sex trade on the streets of Rochester. One of the misconceptions the public has is that the women enjoy this work or they do it for leisure. But in my volunteer experience, I've seen differently. Many of these women want to leave this type of work, but are stuck in it because of potentially dangerous consequences of trying to leave, because they are under the watchful eye of those who are exploiting them. I've seen the importance of truth in my volunteer service with Redeeming Love, a mobile outreach that serves women who are addicted and or being sex trafficked on the streets of Rochester. Many widespread misconceptions surrounding these women lead the public to dismiss them as willing criminals defiling our streets. People think that these women choose to live their lives like this every day. In reality, unexpected and traumatic life circumstances lead many of them to addictions that cost them their jobs and families, landing them on the streets vulnerable to those who would exploit them. Many of these women enter this field of work mistakenly thinking that they're providing for their families in the short term, but end up forfeiting their freedom to someone who exploits them for years. In the time that I've been volunteering with this outreach, I've seen countless women whose main goal is to get off the streets and reunite with their children. These women love their children like every parent in this room. In truth, many of these women are not much different than our own mothers, daughters, and sisters.
Okay.
The ultimate truth that guides my words and action is biblical truth. 1 Peter 4:10 through 11 states, each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in various forms. If anyone speaks, they should do so as one who speaks the very words of God. If anyone serves, they should do so with the strength God provides, so that in all things God may be praised.
Yes. Amen.
This verse shows me that we have all received gifts, and we should use them to serve others and our community. So I have a challenge for you. The next time you find yourself making assumptions and filling in gaps about a person, ask yourself, is this true, or am I basing this off my experience with someone who looks like them? Do I really know this person's story? If we all start to challenge stereotypes and learn the truth of other narratives, I believe we will truly be able to put service above ourselves and serve others to a greater extent. Thank you.